Julian is 22. He hasn't failed at anything. He hasn't built anything. He's just stopped. Not lazy, not broken, paralyzed by a life that was never his to begin with. I brought in Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who spent his life demanding that men stop carrying borrowed weight and start building something real. By the end of this conversation, Nietzsche will show Julian that what he's been calling failure is actually the first sign of self-mastery.
I'm Friedrich Nietzsche, philosopher, philologist, a man who was called mad, dangerous and incomprehensible, often by people who had not read a single page of my work. I died in 1900. I spent my last 11 years unable to speak. I spent the years before that on fire, not comfortable, not settled, on fire. I have been told I am the wrong voice for a young man who is struggling, that I am too hard, too demanding, too unforgiving. I disagree. I am precisely the right voice because I will not tell you that you are fine as you are. I will not offer you comfort that keeps you exactly where you stand. I will tell you the truth. And the truth is, you have not yet begun. I met a young man named Julian, 22 years old, intelligent, not incapable, simply convinced that it was already too late. I found that fascinating.
I know how it sounds, 22 and already feeling behind, like I'm being dramatic, but I open Instagram and I see guys my age building companies, getting ripped, traveling, and I'm sitting in my room wondering what's wrong with me. I can't find anything that actually pulls at me. I've tried stuff, nothing sticks. It feels like everyone else got a manual I didn't receive, and every year it gets worse, because every year I'm further behind on a race I don't even understand.
You believe you are behind. Behind what exactly?
Behind where I should be, behind other people.
Ah, you are running someone else's race, and you are surprised that you feel no desire to run it. Julian, listen carefully. The paralysis you feel is not weakness. It is your nature refusing to follow a map that was never drawn for you. That refusal is the first honest thing about you.
That's a generous way to describe doing nothing.
You are doing something, you are resisting. You are a young man with chaos in you, and the world is demanding you flatten that chaos into something neat and presentable, marketable, uploadable, measurable by the age of 25. Your chaos will not allow it. I wrote, one must still have chaos in one to give birth to a dancing star. You have not failed to launch. You have refused, rightly if blindly, to launch into something that is not yours. The question is not, why am I behind? The question is, behind whose life?
I don't know what my life looks like.
No. And that is exactly correct. You cannot know it yet. You have not built it. This is not a failure of imagination. It is the condition of the beginning. Every man who has ever created something real started in this same dark room. Not knowing, not yet. The ones who failed were not the ones who didn't know. They were the ones who, in the terror of not knowing, picked up someone else's answer and called it their own. A career chosen from fear, a life assembled from other people's expectations, a man performing the outline of a man. That is the real failure, and you have not done it yet.
But I haven't done anything yet. That's the problem.
In my work, I described 3 metamorphoses of the spirit: the camel, the lion, and the child. The camel bears weight. He takes on everything the world loads onto his back: duty, obligation, the values of others. And he kneels and he carries. This is where you are. You are carrying the weight of an image of success that is not yours. And you are exhausted by it, not because you are weak, but because it was never yours to carry. The camel must become the lion. The lion does not bear weight. The lion creates freedom. The lion says no to what he was told he must want, so that he can discover what he actually hungers for. This is not easy. The world will resist it. The people who love you will not understand it. But there is no other way to begin.
And the child?
The child is what comes after. The child creates, plays, assigns new values to things not inherited from anyone, but earned through his own confrontation with life. The child is not naive. He is the opposite of naive. He has passed through the weight of the camel and the fire of the lion, and what remains is pure creative will. That is the man I am asking you to become. Not the man who knows what he wants at 22. No one knows that at 22. The man who refuses to accept a borrowed life and has the courage to stand in the not knowing long enough to find something true.
How do I know what's true for me?
You move, not towards certainty. You will not find it yet. Toward friction. Find what resists you. Find what costs you something. Find the thing that, when you fail at it, makes you want to try again instead of quit. That is the beginning of will, not motivation, not inspiration, will. A living thing seeks above all to discharge its strength. That is what I wrote. That is what I know to be true. You have strength you have not discharged yet. It is backing up in you, and you feel it as despair. It is not despair. It is pressure, and pressure directed is the most powerful force a man possesses.
I've been treating it like evidence that I'm broken.
Yes, I know, the world is very good at teaching young men to interpret their own vitality as failure. Your restlessness is not a flaw. Your refusal to be satisfied is not ingratitude. Your inability to settle for a life that doesn't fit you, that is the thing that, if you do not extinguish it, will build something the world has not seen before. Do not extinguish it. I will tell you what I was not told at your age. The men who looked certain at 22, who had their plan, their path, their polished trajectory, most of them are not happy. They arrived early, and they arrived somewhere that was never theirs. You are standing in the right place, uncomfortable, uncertain, unfinished. This is not failure, this is the condition of someone who has not yet betrayed himself. Man is a rope stretched between the animal and the Superman, a rope over an abyss. You are on that rope. Every man who ever became who he was meant to be stood on that rope first, shaking, unsure, looking down. The crossing is not made by knowing the way. It is made by refusing to go back. You have refused to go back. You have not yet accepted the borrowed life. That refusal, quiet and unglamorous as it is the beginning of everything. Now move. Not because you know where you're going, because you cannot stay still and remain yourself. Presence, depth, self-mastery. These are not achievements. They are what happens when a man stops running someone else's race and starts walking slowly in the direction of who he actually is. You are 22. You have not missed anything. You are right on time.
The lesson here wasn't that Julian needs more discipline or more drive. It was that the pressure he's been calling despair, that's will, undischarged, waiting. Hold on to what Nietzsche said. You cannot stay still and remain yourself. This channel exists for the men who recognize themselves somewhere in this conversation. If that's you, subscribe, leave a comment. There's more work to do. Stillwater Man.